I didn't sell my car even though my fiance refuses to sit in the front seat because my ex sat there. So I'm getting married in 4 months to my fiance, Jordan. We've been together for 2 years, and honestly, everything's been pretty solid until like 6 months ago when this whole car thing started. I drive a 2019 Mazda CX-5. Nothing fancy, just a normal SUV that I bought 3 years ago when I had a decent job at this marketing firm. My ex-girlfriend from college, Amy, used to ride in it sometimes when we dated. That was 4 years ago. We broke up, I moved on, met Jordan, and life was good. Then one day we're heading to her sister's place for dinner, and Jordan just opens the back door and gets in. I'm standing there like, what are you doing? She goes, oh, I'm just gonna sit back here today. I figured she wanted to scroll on her phone or something, so whatever. But then it kept happening. Every single time we got in the car, she'd climb in the back. After like the 5th time, I finally asked her what's going on, and she got all quiet. Then she says, I just don't feel right sitting where Amy sat. I literally laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't joking. She told me that every time she sits in the front seat, she pictures my ex sitting there and it makes her skin crawl. She said it feels like she's sitting in someone else's spot, and she can't stop thinking about all the times Amy was probably in that exact seat. I told her that was years ago and it's just a car seat. She said it doesn't matter because the energy is still there. I tried explaining that I've had the car detailed twice since then. New air fresheners. I even got new seat covers last year. None of that mattered to her. She said she knows it's irrational, but she can't help how she feels. So I said, okay, fine, I'll just sell the car and get a new one if it bothers you that much. But then she told me, no, don't do that, because then she'd feel like she forced me into it, and that would make her feel even worse. So now I'm stuck. I can't sell the car because she doesn't want me to. But she also won't sit in the front seat. Every time we go anywhere, I feel like I'm driving for Uber. People have started noticing too. Her mom made a joke about it at brunch last month, asking if I was her personal driver now. Jordan just laughed it off, but I could tell she was embarrassed. The thing is, this isn't just about the car. She does this with other stuff too. Like we can't watch movies on my couch the way I used to with Amy. I mentioned once that Amy and I would do this thing where we'd lie down opposite directions with our heads at each end, and she completely freaked out. Now if we watch TV, we have to sit up right next to each other or she sits on the floor. I suggested we go to this Italian restaurant downtown that I really like, and she asked if I'd been there with Amy. I said yeah, once or twice, and she said she didn't want to go anymore because it would feel weird. I'm starting to run out of places I can take her. I've lived in this city for 6 years. I've been to most of the restaurants and parks and coffee shops. A lot of them I went to with Amy at some point because we dated for a year and a half. But now it's like I have to run every location through Jordan first to make sure it's not contaminated or whatever. What really gets me is that she still talks to her ex. His name's Owen. They text maybe once every few weeks, and she's called him a couple times when he was going through stuff with his family. I've never had a problem with it because I trust her, and I think staying friends with exes is fine if both people are mature about it. But it feels like a double standard. She can be buddies with Owen, but I can't sit in a car that my ex was in 4 years ago. When I brought this up, she said it's not the same thing because Owen never physically occupied our space. Like he's never been to our apartment or in my car, so it's different. I said, what about her bed? She got weird and said she bought new sheets before we started dating, so it doesn't count. I didn't push it further because I could tell she was getting upset. Last week it came to a head. We were supposed to drive 2 hours to visit my parents, and she got in the back seat again. I just sat there in the driveway and said, I'm not driving with you in the back for 2 hours like you're my passenger. She said, fine, then we won't go. I said, are you serious right now? She got out of the car and went back inside. I ended up driving to my parents alone and telling them Jordan wasn't feeling well.